again for having me here on this fan film review. I'm so excited to review the movies that are coming up. Cleanse your palate with this, and then, of course, Andor should be coming out, so maybe you do need a, palate cleanser. So that's why we're here.
Yeah, if Cassian Andor can't save Star Wars, I don't know what will at that point.
Isn't it said that everybody says that with every damn show that comes out? This has to save Star Wars, and and then rinse and repeat in every single one, from The Mandalorian to the Book of Boba Fett to this, and what next? How many?
They have 30. They have like 30 more shows announced. There might be some things in them that are done nicely, but overall, I assume they'll all be the similar quality. And anything's shown it so far, it's on the downside. But so this one we're checking out is called Secura. Is that how you pronounce that one? Secura?
Yeah, Secura. Yeah.
Secura.
So Ayla Secura. Yeah.
Ayla Secura. Yep. It's by Ray Kennix. I've actually interviewed her with Black Angus Reviews, and I think Jeremy Geeson Gamers was the first contact with her at some point, and we did an interview with her. And she is super into cosplay. She likes to do some acting. And her husband or boyfriend, I forget at the time, I don't know, I think they're married. He's like a filmmaker, producer of some kind, and they've done quite a few things. And she's made an Ahsoka fan film, and she's even done like a music video. And just recently, she's posted, I think, 3 videos on her channel there that are fan film related. So that we check this out. She seems to be pretty good on the cosplay era. This one was released in May of this year, so very recent release. It was on May 4th. Good day for that. It's got over 200,000 views on it already. Are you ready?
Yes. Let's do this.
Do it a long time ago. All right. I'll mute the intros on these just so that I can read the thingies out here for everybody with that. So the Clone Wars are raging across the galaxy following the Republic's successful mission to end the siege of Saleucami. The 327th Star Corps is hunting for the remainder of the Separatist army. Victory seems certain, but all is not lost, or not as all as it appears. There is something within the Force. All right.
All clear. Copy. You all right, Mix? I'm fine.
It's refreshing seeing the clone trooper stuff in live action sometimes, and on a different plane that isn't Coruscant or something.
Right. Or Tatooine.
Fucking Tatooine. Yeah. Finally, I like seeing mud, rock, something different. Blue sky, blue background, clouds.
Right.
Refreshing.
Yes.
The plankers are gone. Maybe. Odds up. I think you might be right. Seems we got them all, General.
The suits look pretty good, too. They look very standard issue. I think that I forget if she had contact with like the 501st people that tend to have like their stormtrooper outfits. I don't know if they have like a clone sector of that. Do they have?
I wouldn't know, but I know people, like there are people that love to cosplay even the clones and different eras, like how they evolve into stormtroopers. So I wouldn't put it past the 501st group to have some items that are related to the clone era, just because of that.
For people that don't remember, Secura is the Jedi that got like a kajillion shots in her in the Order 66 on Felucia, that's the Ackley planet, right? With the weird, spider things that was in the Geonosis.
Yeah, that was
Obi-Wan.
The flowers and everything seem like they have a glowing tint and stuff. So very, very beautiful visual of that planet. That I'm surprised that we haven't seen it, elsewhere now, considering that, planets are being brought back.
Oh no.
We have to move on, General. He's gone.
Move on? At my core, I am a Jedi. But I'm also a Twi'lek blind. There's only so much one can suppress. And the emotions aren't just mine. It's ancient memories of past generations I carry in my leku. There are parts about being a Twi'lek that can make me a better Jedi.
What do you think about the look so far?
Okay, so yeah, I like it. I think she could be a little bit deeper in the blue color because we see her more. Her skin color blue is more intense, and I. Okay, so if you don't know like the history of Twi'leks and what the Leku's about and stuff, like her her um brain trails, I guess you could say, her tentacles, I guess you could say, whatever you want to call them. They're called lekus. They do store memory and stuff in there, and she was the Padawan to Quillen Voss, and so there's a whole story behind that. You can read about it in the Republic comics. A very very interesting. I love that story between those two, and so when a leku gets chopped off, some of that memory is gone. Sometimes it can go crazy and stuff like that. So she's rehashing, but the thing is I think she's doing it more for the audience than her own troops because they should know already. They're living in the experience of Star Wars, that universe, that galaxy, so they should know more about a Twi'lek. So I think that was kind of to tell the audience a little bit more what's going on, other than that, than educating her trooper.
Right, in terms of execution of the scene, maybe if there was like somebody else here that hasn't worked with the Jedi before, that would have made more sense for the
are not very
dialogue
familiar
here.
with Twi'leks, yeah, but they're very popular because they're either dance slaves kind of deal and stuff, especially the women and stuff, So I mean, it's well known in the galaxy. It's just if there was someone that maybe wasn't very versed in them, then maybe I would. So yeah, I think that was kind of like something that maybe didn't really need to be talked about, other than sharing a memory of that person that's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, are they commonly like they're just commonly slaves? Is that like the same with like how Wookiees are commonly put to work as slaves as well, kind of for like the physical work in mines, and how Twi'leks are commonly dance slaves and whatever?
Yeah, they are basically, if you want to say commonly used as that, yes, because the women are so attractive, but then they're still kind of like, I would say, vulnerable.
Okay.
And they could be very, like if you look into the history and the lore of them, like there is, what the hell is her name now? Alima Rar, who basically she loses part of her leku, and she's a Jedi from Luke Skywalker's New Jedi Order, and she had went through some traumatic events to where even her, she lost a leku, she went into a hive mind. She started going dark and stuff like that. And then she wanted to basically get revenge on Leia. And I'm not trying to go into a whole story here, but just give you an example of that. They're very vulnerable to stuff. They can lose their memories, go crazy if something happens to who they are sought out to be, into slavery, like how we see with Jabba with his Twi'leks and stuff like that. Yeah, so very interesting. If you want to look into more of that culture, that species of, Star Wars, it's interesting to look into.
Damn! All right, they did their homework on making the backstories. Holy shit!
Yes, they did.
Good.
And I need to be better. How's your aim?
All right.
Okay, so she's trying to.
Okay, stop this real quick.
Yeah.
How's your aim? Okay, so we know there's that little parody joke thingy going on about the stormtroopers from the OT. All right, but when we get into the Clone Wars, when we rewind and go back in time into the Clone Wars, these guys are highly skilled and trained. They are basically clones of Fett, who basically was chosen, and I can go into that whole arc too, but basically he was chosen because he's Mandalore. He has the fighting skills, tactical skills, brilliant, bounty hunter, blah, 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 everything about him. Then they're trained. He brings in, people, Mandalorians, to train them as well. So that right there, I don't know if that was supposed to be because of the joke there or what, I don't know, but that's the first thing I thought of, and that's not necessary either. But go ahead.
I guess the way I would have seen it is like there's different, like each clone trooper, even though they all have these different skill, like they all have the skill sets with them, that there's still a ranging amount of skill. Like, you know, one clone trooper might be more skilled than another clone trooper is kind of what I would think. So
yeah, just a little bit. They might
the other trooper was dead. You know, maybe, you know, some have better aim than others. So I don't know, just how's your aim in general, seeing if he's a sharper shooter.
But I'll go here with the Jedi. If she's connected to the Force and letting the Force flow through her and using the Force, then no matter if their aim is bad or not, she should be able to allow the Force to guide her lightsaber to block.
Yeah, for some reason she was saying, because she said she needs to get better now.
Yeah.
Did you catch why exactly, or should I take it back to?
I didn't catch why. I know she's.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it back a sec.
About Twi'leks.
I'm gonna take it back because maybe there's a connecting thread that we didn't see.
Or maybe it's leading up to that. Maybe it's leading up to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on. At my core, I am a Jedi. But I'm also a Twi'lek blind. There's only so much one can suppress. And the emotions aren't just mine. It's ancient memories of past generations I carry in my Lego.
Okay, so I feel like she's saying that she's having trouble with her emotions because, like how you described, there's a whole bunch of memories in there.
Yeah.
Or something. And so she's, you know, not just dealing with her own stuff and using the Jedi code and everything. She's got all these other memories or something in her head. Is that how that works?
Yeah, they could have some stored memory from the past and stuff like that. The one thing that I will say is, like, if she's basing this off of her and Quinlan Voss and how he went kind of dark and then she went dark. I mean, I'm just like speaking.
Quinlan Voss was that like jungle Jedi, right? The Tarzan Jedi.
Okay. Okay, so you're referring to him as like the one how you see him in the Clone Wars, like the surfer dude kind of dude.
Yeah, they just showed him without a shirt, and he's like Tarzan practically. Is that what?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but no, that example was a very bad one. I just do not like how Filoni went with him on that. But if you get into the comics, he is more of a roughneck kind of guy. So they're complete opposites.
So more like Old West kind of or something.
Kind of roughneck, kind of, yeah, like where he and but he doesn't have the surfer dude vibe whatsoever, like TCW gives him. Okay, and he's Kifu. He's from he's a Kifu or Kifar, and he basically has the ability to pick up objects and read the imprint of whoever had that object in there the last time. So Kifus do that. And so that's one way he helped her heal from what she went through. She was basically given too much spice to where she forgot all of her memory and stuff. And like I said, I'm trying not to get into this huge, vast story of what happened during that time. And so he helped her regain her memory and stuff. In short, there's so much in between that went on that I would be here forever explaining. Not forever, but you know what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. But they helped each other both from going dark, I guess you can say. The master and the apprentice kind of deal. So if she's referring to those events in the Republic comics, then maybe there's validity to this, but we don't know yet. We don't know exactly what's going on.
There are parts about being a Twi'lek that can make me a better Jedi. And I need to be better.
So there's parts about being a Twi'lek that can make her a better Jedi. What do you think she's referring to?
You know what? I don't know, other than having great memory or like storing memory, being very agile.
How's your aim?
Yeah, I feel like that is kind of a stormtrooper joke right there. Like
yeah,
like, you're not shitty, are you? Okay, let's find out.
Even though I'm a Jedi.
Right.
Nice.
You ready?
So she looks great, but like I would think that this isn't as ideal of training in a way.
Would be a good challenge, but my thing is like she's going into Sarasu right here. That's the classic Obi-Wan Kenobi stance. And it's not particularly a stance and stuff to project, blaster bolts that are coming from you. So I wonder if she did that just because it's a classical like stance that Obi-Wan took before and we see on the screen. So I'm just trying to analyze this too with like different dueling styles that there are, what each mean and stuff.
I gotcha. And just in the fact that she said that she's training now or she's trying to get better. That I don't know, like based on how they do normal training, even when they're younger, like blindfolded and trying to sense where different, you don't know where a blast is coming at you. I don't know if standing in one place and looking at where it's going is gonna, you know what I mean? I guess,
and then like Seleucami. So the siege of Seleucami happens before, Felucia. So that siege is before that. So I'm like, okay, so she's at the siege. If they're there, she's keeping time with continuity. Then, and she's feeling that she's not a good Jedi. Sure, you could train and stuff. Jedi's, if you're always training and wanting to perfect your style and your defense and offense, all of that, right? So I wonder what's leading her to think that she's not good enough here.
Yeah, I assume it was with the dead clone. She was like, I don't, and then she said about her emotions and then she said she can utilize her Twi'lekness to become a better Jedi.
Sexy.
Yes.
You're not even trying.
I wouldn't want to hurt you.
What? Okay. Okay, so these guys have worked with, like she's their general.
Yeah.
And they have worked under their general for like 3 years. Because if this is, like I said, this is the time frame of the siege of Seleucami, then we're coming close to Order 66. We're coming close to the end of the Clone Wars, right? They should know that they won't be able to hurt her because she'll have that sense and all this other stuff going on.
General, incoming transmission.
Okay.
And she looks great. She looks great swinging around and all. It's just
to show because she had some flurries in there. She had, some classical stance that, like I said, we've seen Obi-Wan take and stuff like that. And and it's just probably just to show off like, oh, well, we're going to do a lightsaber, deflecting blasters kind of montage. I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out why she wants to do this.
This might be a callback. This might be used for a callback in a minute when they go into battle or something.
Yeah.
Ayla, sorry to keep this short. We've lost communication with the 182nd Legion. The 501st was dispatched to find them, but they've run into some trouble. The Council needs you to go to Felucia.
Felucia?
Is there a problem?
I feel I need to be on Coruscant.
Well, it's Council's orders, I'm afraid. We need our best on this. Master Windu will be in touch once you're on Felucia. Report when you arrive. Kenobi out.
Oh, that was supposed to be Kenobi?
Yeah, I kind of guessed it was, but of course, sometimes you can't get the accent. Okay, so Bly is basically her, so this is her command here. And this is the siege, like she's on Seleucami. So I guess that's what the siege of Seleucami kind of thing, maybe after, and she's getting now moved to Felucia. We're getting close to Order 66. So I wonder why she feels she needs to be on Coruscant. I wonder if she's feeling like something's going down and she's needed at the temple. Who knows? Yeah. And so her commander Bly is basically wearing the same color, everything. So it's in continuity with her troopers and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Something's not right.
And mind you, this was never about the chip,
Clone Wars stuff,
yeah, so this is never about the chip or whatever. And so basically Palpatine said, this is what happens when you have a group that you breed and to control and stuff, and they're with their commanders or their generals for 3 years. This is called, basically he says it's contagion. This is what happened. This is contagion for them being under their influence and stuff. So it's contagion. And so that was a great little callback to why some of these, these commanders question, the order.
Right.
Because they were so bonded with their general and stuff like that they question, okay, so but the general didn't say it, so blah blah, so I'm just saying, so I wonder what's going on here. I wonder if it's going to come up to her death.
It might. We shall see.
So what's the order, General?
We go to Felucia.
Oh yes it is. Look at that.
What was that?
I said, yep, look at this is the scene there that from.
Yep, pretty much right to it.
Mm-hmm.
Execute Order 66. No. Good. Soldiers, follow orders.
Oh, and there's more after that.
Mm-hmm.
I think, unless that's just behind the scenes.
Okay. So they wanted to give some.
What was that?
Okay, we'll have to rewind that though, because he was whispering. But I think they wanted to make the clones like how you see in Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, those clones that kind of question, like they don't want to take the orders, but then they still do it anyways. So I guess they wanted to make them more quote unquote human, even though we know the clones weren't bred to be like human in a sense when it comes to situations like this.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, rewind it a little bit.
Yeah, he was just saying good soldiers follow orders was.
Oh, okay.
All he was saying.
Okay.
Soldiers follow orders.
I am going to end this once and for all.
You are the chosen one. Ayla, clearness of mind will allow you to see into another's heart. Change the future, you must.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the order, General?
You're going to the med bay.
Yes, General. What about Felucia?
I don't know. The Force will show the way.
I mean, the shots look nice here.
Yeah. Okay. So let me go ahead and expand on this some more here. So I don't know if you ever heard about like the future is always in motion.
Yeah.
That you can get like Yoda even it says that in the OT, and it's kind of reiterated here in the PT that you can get visions of the future, but doesn't mean that they're the accurate ones, that there's always different scenarios of the future. And, and responding to them doesn't mean that you change it at all. The Force will always course correct. So, and then, so I'll go with this, and we haven't even finished on watching this. So I'll see if I'm seeing if this is true or not. So even if they didn't go to Felucia, they're still going to get the order for them to kill her.
So still pretty much have the same result, just on a different,
just
in
on
a different way, essentially.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if that prediction comes true. Okay, that's the true ending here, I think now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so maybe there'll be a sequel to this, or one and done. I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe this goes off into its own little like what if. But then the thing is, like I said, so everything's incongruent with what was established in the lore. So if this is going to be a what if or whatever, like I said, if she plays true to, you know, keeping up with the lore and stuff, it's always gonna course correct itself, and she's got to die. Sorry to say,
Right. At the end of whatever happens, that
exactly.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's the will of the Force, I guess you could say.
Yeah, so that's good. Yeah, she's doing a tribute to Star Wars characters, and
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Okay,
What did it say about Dave Filoni?
special thanks.
Oh,
It said
okay.
to George Lucas. It said to George Lucas, characters by George Lucas and Dave Filoni. Special thanks
Yeah.
too. And then
Yeah.
all of that.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, George, you know, no. Ayla's not a Filoni character. None of these were Filoni characters.
Right. I don't know then what that. But I know that she does Ahsoka in a different one, so maybe
Yeah.
just doing the two. So
Okay.
that's all good. But yeah, this might have also just been more like a way to just show, you know, she's doing the cosplay and having the people as the troopers around her and just filming something there. Because I think in the Ahsoka one, at least from what I remember, there wasn't too much that happens in there either.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, maybe these are just the inklings to, you know, eventually do more like this. They're just testing the waters of what they can do. At the moment, it might be. Let me double check her channel here.
Yeah, and you never know with Disney Star Wars these days, because they're very finicky, and and that's just putting it nicely, about allowing fan films. You know,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they have any control over that. I think that was one thing that George was able to get under the radar, was that, you know, you can't like take down fan films alone. I think it depends on if you specifically crowdfund for a fan film, like on Indiegogo or GoFundMe or something, like, oh, I'm making a Star Wars thing. Then they might be able to take that down. But
yeah,
but you can crowdfund in other ways.
Yeah, you know, I just noticed that with George, he didn't mind. He rather enjoyed seeing the creativity and stuff like that. And Disney is taking, you know, like with all of their properties, takes a different route.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah,
pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that by Ray Kennicks and crew, I'd say it was a nice little showpiece. Not as much like a good like fan film, I would say, just because not much really happened in it. It was just kind of setting up some bits there, and yeah, without knowing anything about Twi'leks and stuff, like I don't know if I would have been as interested going in alone with that. So, but you know, she looks great.
She does.
Secura looks fantastic, and the clone troopers looked spot on. The voices sounded pretty good to me. I didn't really notice too much of a difference with the voice being like that. I like, you know, the good soldiers follow, or, you know, still shot her essentially. But
Kenobi's voice could have been done a little bit better, but
a little bit. Well, that was the only part that I was like, was that supposed to be Kenobi? Oh, okay. I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, I looked at it and looked at the demeanor. I was like, that's Kenobi, but it doesn't sound like
Especially
him.
if he was hunting Grievous at the time or something. It's like, why would you be commenting on that?
I would say that during this time, maybe that he's on Utapau or getting ready to go to Utapau, because there was so much going on during that time that the Jedi and the Jedi generals and their Padawans were spread out thin. Yeah. And we know that because of the PT, where like the temple basically had nothing but younglings and Padawans with maybe a few masters or a master here or there, but they were so spread out in the Outer Rim sieges by that time that you know, that a lot was going on. And once they got news about Grievous being on Utapau, they were like, okay, send General Kenobi.
So send their only guy to kill a Sith before. Good idea.
Yeah, exactly. While the other ones were out on their missions and stuff. And like I said, you know, Seleucami, all of them had stuff going on. So they were very spread out thin. And that was basically Palpatine orchestrated all of this.
Any last thoughts on that fan film?
I am curious now if she's going to, you know, do a what if and see what happens with this what if with Aayla Secura. Like if she turns it into a story, that would be fun to watch. You know, so she went, it's like, okay, never mind about Felucia. You know, I'm going to go ahead and stay there. You guys go to your med bay, blah, 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 blah. Or if it's going to end up, she's being killed on Seleucami, basically, because that's where they're at. So I'm very curious if she just does that, or it's just a fun little fan film cosplay scenario that pays homage to you know, the lore,
Yeah,
then
I feel like
fine.
she might. I feel like she might do another one, but it won't be of Secura or Ahsoka. It might be another cosplay. I think.
Yeah,
Because she did
yeah.
Ahsoka, and then she did this one. I have a feeling that she'll pick a different cosplay and do another
Mhm.
character or something, and try to do something with another character.
Yeah,
But
and I'm just glad.
she seems to love the Clone Wars era though. So
Yeah, I noticed that, and I'm glad that she, you know, honored, you know, like, um, Ayla and her troopers, you know, having Bly, you know, Commander Bly and stuff, you know, and I understand there's a lot of manpower to bring in the whole command, you know, and stuff like that, you know, so having a few probably did well for her, you know, but it
yeah.
would have been fun to see, you know, seeing the whole command that she's leading. Yeah.
So there's probably going to be more coming from Ray Kennick in the future, and we'll see what cosplay or fan film type stories that she's got in store for us. And
Mhm.
until then, we'll see you guys later.